It was very important to me that the music not pay any attention to the genre of the film. What I wanted to do was to engage Hans in a very pure creative process.
I was working on a completely different movie, and Chris said to me, if he were to write one page of something, and he wouldn't tell me what the movie was about, but he'd just write one page, would I give him one day, and just whatever came to my mind, I would start writing.
What I wrote for Hans to get him started was some dialogue that I'd written for the film mixed with some ideas behind the film without any indications as to genre or scale, just to free him up from that.
This is, of course, where Chris gets tricky, really about a father and his relationship to his son. It's only later on that I found out that the son wasn't a son at all, it was a daughter. I sat down and I wrote this piece really about what it feels like to be a father and what it feels like to have a son, and I was writing about my son.
When he played me the piece of music which became the basis for the entire score, I thought it was absolutely perfect and captured the emotional qualities of the film that I wanted. And it was at that point that I told him that it was actually a large-scale science fiction film. I hadn't given him any clues about that.
You know, it's not an action film, it's not about man, so it just isn't any of those things.
I think what that did for him is it set him very firmly in a direction relating to the heart of the film. I mean, I listened to it extensively while I was finishing writing the script, and then when we were in production as well.
One of the things which was really important to both Chris and myself was that if you think about, we spent, 9 years in one way or the other with the Batman material. So part of the process was, let's leave things out which we have done before. If we've done it before, just put it aside. You know, that belongs to those other movies. To come with a whole new palette was really exciting.
I really wanted him to use the church organ. And I also made the case very strongly for some feeling of religiosity to it, even though the film isn't religious, but that the organ, the architecture of cathedrals and all the rest, they represent mankind's attempt to portray the mystical or the metaphysical, what's beyond us, beyond the realm of the everyday.
Most films attempt with pre-existing music until the composer composes the score for the film. We don't do that on Chris's films. Hans comes on early and records just ideas and suites of kind of anything that comes into his mind through conversations with Chris. And then we start to use that against the images, and very quickly you start to see what can work. And then Hans starts supplying more pieces of music based upon more conversations with Chris as to, like, oh, well, you did this, this, and this. It's awesome, but can you make it longer and, you know, give us a rhythm or something? With a very talented music editor, Alex Gibson, we will just keep developing it, and it becomes this whole backwards and forwards mechanism. So after a lot of cutting and manipulating, Hans sampled demos. We went to Temple Church in central London and we set up a mobile recording system and spent days in there re-recording the organ. Hans is a great advocate of this. The live, real human will always give you this extra piece of magic. And we got plenty of magic.